Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Chicago. Let me get the camera straight here. I'm always adjusting the camera here. Well, hey, we got bright, beautiful sunshine here. We have 70-degree plus temperatures. It feels like a warm summer day. And so I'll take this opportunity to head over to Ohio Street Beach, and we'll check out the nice skyline views they have there by Olive Park, and we'll go by Navy Pier. But you know, I realized what happened. I thought they were going to do some Halloween decorations like they did last year. Hey, Mary Therese. Hey, Tara. Thanks for tuning in. Look at this nice day we got here in Chicago. I thought they were going to do some Halloween decorations like pumpkin carvings, and then, you know, I realized, it takes me a while to figure things out sometimes, that I was looking at the webpage from last year's Halloween thing where they had the pumpkin thing. And this year they're doing some like immersive, like you put on headphones and you go through like some haunted house type thing. I don't know what it is. And it seems like they're only doing it on Fridays and Saturdays. So even though it's a beautiful day, and today's would be a wonderful day to go to Navy Pier, due to my time constraints, I think I'm just going to head to Olive Park, show the nice skyline views of Streeterville, and it'll still be a nice walk. We'll head by the Ogden Slip and head over to the Lake Michigan. We'll continue with the Lake Michigan theme. We had a great walk this morning. We saw the sunrise and the water skier. It was great. Hey, thanks, Chris. Tara, yeah, what a beautiful day. Yeah, let's head to the beach. Let's go to Ohio Street Beach. We'll see if there's any dogs out there, people walking their dogs. And yeah, you found that too. I know, I went to the website, and I guess they're doing it on Friday and Saturday. So maybe Friday we might head to Navy Pier, maybe not. Depends on the weather. I know there's rain in the forecast the rest of the week, a chance. And so we're going to make hay while the sun shines. Enjoy this beautiful day, a day that it's warm enough to water ski in Lake Michigan, October 24th. Isn't that amazing? Sandra, thanks for tuning in. I know, the water skier, I know. And I talked to someone I worked with that, you know, goes out and does yoga in the morning on Lake Michigan. And they said that they saw that water skier all summer. They you know, if it's a calm day on the lake, someone, sounds of the city. We need some horns in our life, right? They see that water skier all the time, and I guess they're getting the last little bit of the summer season in on this late October 77-degree day. What a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Yeah, Wes, how's it going? Lisa, how's it going? That's great. Oh, you saw that? Yeah, I wanted to have fun with it, and there's two reasons I just timed it to music. I tried to cut out the clip with me talking over it and acting like a crazy person, yelling, being so excited that I saw the water skier. But sometimes when I download the clips, the music, the voiceover, it was like about 15-second delayed from what it was in real time, and I was really frustrated with that. So I was trying to, and I just punted and I said, we'll just put it to music. And since I you know, when the sun rising, I was like, I thought of 2001: A Space Odyssey, you know, the opening scene from Stanley Kubrick's great movie 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't know if that's Wagner or what that music is, classical music, and most people recognize it, and I thought it was perfect because it's a sign of the times that it's warm enough. We've had such a warm summer nationwide that people can still water ski in Chicago, October 24th. And we're heading across the Chicago River, of course. We do this almost every day. Look at all the boats there. And isn't it funny how the John Hancock building subliminally reminds you of the Black Obelisk in 2001? You know, that at the beginning when the early proto-humans, that alien, if you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, you know what I'm talking about, the Black Obelisk. That Arthur C. Clarke was the author of that book, And he was still around when Stanley Kubrick made that movie. Stanley Kubrick consulted with him, the science fiction writer, for 2001. Isn't that amazing? But hey, thanks for tuning in. Dolores, Lisa, Kevin. Yeah, it's beautiful. Wes, that's good. So if I can ever get the my audio to sync with the real time, I'll post the audio of my excitement. I'll do a 5-minute clip or longer. You know, people know if you live stream, you have to wait to download the footage. It has to be processed, and that's probably why I downloaded too soon. And sometimes you can download a minute clip. But here we are, we're by the Apple store. Let's look at all these people sitting out in the sun, riding a scooter. Look at this, what a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having such a fine weather where you're at as well. And it doesn't even feel like fall now today. It feels like a warm summer day. So let's head over to the beach, Ohio Street Beach. Yeah, very lucky dot guy. Yeah, it looks very crowded. Look at that. Look at this plaza. And this is, you know, look how this plaza really opens up. You can see the skyline, a unique perspective here. You know. So, hey, there's some food trucks. I knew the food trucks would be over there. Richard Strauss, thank you. Thank you, Richard Strauss. I know he used Strauss a lot in 2001. They used for those waltz. He would time the waltz music to the space, the space montages. And it isn't amazing that movie came out in the late 60s, right before we went to the moon. And they literally thought by 2001 at that time that we would be like living in space and have moon colonies and stuff, and let alone flying cars and whatever. But it just shows you how hard it is to predict the future. I know. That's why, you know, isn't it amazing that so often when I walk along the lakefront, I see your comment there, Lindsay, that's great, that people will be like, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm in Chicago. And they're like, I didn't know Chicago had beaches. I didn't know Chicago had a lake. I'm like, have you never looked at a map? You know, it just shows you how, and I know people are tuning in from all over the world. Some people might even know what Chicago is, you know, and it's just, you know, it's stunning to me. And, you know, I guess because I live here that, you know, hey, look at these great food trucks, yeah, that, we can show pictures of the Chicago skyline, the Sears Tower, Willis Tower, John Hancock, and even people that live in the United States, they're confused about where we're at, and it's just shocking to me. They might think it's New York. I think that's what it is, but then that's why they're really confused, because they're like, you know, New York has beaches. We know that. Coney Island is a beach, but it's way out in Brooklyn. It's not Manhattan, you know, and Manhattan really doesn't have beaches. Manhattan has rivers on either side of it. And the Hudson River is really wide. It's almost could have beaches, but here, look at this NBC Tower. And so what I'll do is I'll walk this way because there's such a great view to the skyline this way when we walk on the south side of the NBC Tower. Yeah, Long Island has tons of beaches. Yeah, Long Island, you know, a lot of New York out to the Rockaway Beach. Remember the Ramones? They sung about Rockaway Beach. Is that part of Queens? You know, all the way down by JFK. There's barrier islands, and of course the Hamptons. Everybody wants to party in the Hamptons in August and September. That's way out in the end of Long Island. Beautiful beaches on the Hamptons. Long Island has wonderful beaches. Fire Island, all that stuff. You know, it's just barrier islands all along the southern shore of Long Island. Yeah, I know. They see the lake. They're like they think it's the ocean because you can't see across. You know, yeah, the Great Lakes. I see that, Lindsay. Yeah, I know. That's the limiting factor. It's always the limiting factor of humanity, you know, for all our progress and all our talk of civilization and, you know, advancement, and we're still limited by the lowest common denominator, and humans, including me, to control our emotions, and you know, people fighting, grown people fighting on planes, you know, over what? we all see it. We all see the reels and TikToks. You know, the world's a stressful place. You know, it's hard. People just lose it. You know, but oh, Manhattan is a new park they made into a beach. That's nice. Here, I'll rush to get across the street here. But here's this view I was talking about. You know, we got this nice view of the Chicago skyline. We got 16 seconds to get across. This thing's gonna try to run me over. And I'm doing this to expedite some time here. Here we're by the Sheridan. And there, look at that view. Yeah, all the way back. So here's Columbus, Ogden Plaza. We'll go behind the Sheridan here. And we'll head right down to the Ogden Slip. Yeah, the dark, I know. Our greatness isn't our past, right? We got to go backwards to move forwards. You know, it's people always talk about, oh, let's go back to the good olden days when people had virtue and you know, family values. You look back in history. History was a very violent place where people did horrible things over and over again. You know, we kind of gloss over, you know, it's like Little House on the Prairie. You know, they leave out that Charles Ingalls Wilder, when they first went out there, he was on Native American land, you know, and we conveniently leave that out. You know, it's just, you know, he jumped the line, you know, and you know, his wife, his real wife, she was terrified. He would leave to go on a, you know, go get supplies. I'm talking about the real Charles Ingalls Wilder, the real one, that, because, you know, Laura Ingalls Wilder, that was her real life experience living on the frontier in the 60s, 70s, I don't know when that was. And they were out in like Kansas, you know, they started in Wisconsin. And he would leave his wife for weeks, you know, and she was out there on the edge of the frontier, and sometimes Native Americans would come, look around and just take whatever they wanted, because they considered them to be poaching, you know. Yeah, even the recent old days, the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I know I point that out to all the people all the time. I thank you for being a good, intelligent audience to realize that. Go back to the 70s in New York City, the Son of Sam, and Bronx was on fire, and you know, the 80s and 90s, the crack epidemic. Even in the 1990s, crime, and early 1990s, the LA Rodney King episode, all kinds of things, you know. Let's see, North Water, New Street, but we're not out of the woods yet. I know it's still bad now, and it will continue to be bad. Chicago had issues when I moved here in the 90s. It'll continue to have issues, because all cities have issues. And people just want to say, I got you. Yeah, I interrupted a scary meeting. Oh yeah, they're going down the stairs there, a bunch of suits. You stayed in the Drake 10 years ago? That's good. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, the Drake's pretty nice. The Drake's a nice historic hotel. And that's right by Oak Street Beach. It's a beautiful location there, right at the north end of North Michigan Avenue. And yeah, the trees are starting to turn. We got the whole fall ahead of us. Here we are over. Look at this view to the St. Regis. I always want to call it the Wanda Vista, but yeah, we got some fall color there. The smaller trees are starting to change. We still got some green trees. I mean, Woman Life Freedom said in North Carolina the trees were still green, of course, but up in the mountains they were starting to change in the Appalachians. So I'm sure they're moving down the Appalachians. Vermont already went past their peak fall color, and it's moving south in the higher elevations of the whole chain of the Appalachians. I'm sure the Smoky Mountain National Park looks really beautiful right now. The parts that weren't burned by the forest fires a few years ago. Yeah. So here we are. We made it to the Ogden Slip. There you see the Ferris wheel, Navy Pier. we'll head in that general direction. We've been here before, even on YouTube. And yeah, most of these ground level condos all have door cameras. That's why I was like, that jerk that's setting fire to Halloween decorations, hopefully once he's seen his face all over TV, he would stop doing it, you know. There's cameras everywhere. Yeah, the Palmer House Hilton and the Chicago Hilton are great. Both of those are great hotels, historic hotels. And that's why we film the lobbies. We go in there sometimes. Hey Richard, how's it going? Yeah, Mary Therese. Yeah, so here we are at the Ogden Slip. We'll go by Robert's Pizza. There's a jazz club here. And yeah, Robert's Pizza. People are sitting outside, October 24th. People are sitting outside. Look at that. It got me. It jumped down there. I missed it. You see that was up there. Look how it's rising back up. So when you walk by, it's motion activated. They got the Halloween decorations out here in front of the Robert's Pizza. And then they got a nice Halloween display. It's motion activated. When you walk by it, it jumps down and gives you a nice scare. That's great. Yeah, we're having a new walk. Look, people are sitting at the bar at Robert's Pizza. They got the windows open. October 24th, we got the windows open, people sitting outside. Isn't global warming great? I say this with sarcasm and trepidation. You know, it's like, you know, in the beginning, people will be like, "Oh, buy some Alaska beachfront property. It'll be an investment opportunity." Isn't global warming great? I'm like, yeah, until everything burns up. Then it's too late. It's too late. We're past the tipping point. Pinstripes, Bistro, Bowling, Bocce. And there's a great art. Yeah, the Dorita Fine Art Gallery. Look at this. I want to promote this. The Dorita Fine Art Gallery right here on the Ogden Slip. I've seen the artist actually at work. There, the Pavarotti. Look at that. Look at this great colorful paintings here. Dorita Fine Art here on the Ogden Slip. Check it out. Collector's Choice Award. There he is. Alexandru Dorita. Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations. Look at that. Oh, can you see that? There's Alexandru Dorita with Ban Ki-moon. That's huge. Yeah, award-winning artist. Look, people are sitting out here. Here's the pitched Mediterranean grill. This is a Mediterranean grill right here on the Ogden Slip. There it is. Pinched on the river. Pinched. It's called Pinched. Look at that, yeah. Look at the fall colors, yeah. Yeah, there'll be snow. I'm sure there'll be some big snowstorms. So we'll keep you posted, very lucky guy. Hey, thanks Sharon. Thanks for passing the time. Yeah, it's a perfect thing to do. Waiting for the bus. Just watch some, yeah, Bocce. Watch some live streaming. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Help pass the time. So, yeah, there's Innisfree. The boat's there on the Ogden Slip. It's actually hot. It feels like 80 degrees right now. This is weird. You know, nice late summer day. Probably tomorrow I'll be freezing. We'll be back to the cold rain. Kenny G. Yeah, good. You got me on the flat screen. Isn't that nice? See, isn't YouTube nice? You could just use the YouTube app, throw it up on the flat screen. It's good resolution. You know, that's how I'm trying to convince more of the TikTokers eventually. You know, I'd be okay with doing YouTube all the time, but you know, we have such a great. People are still reconnecting. Even now, 2 months later, people are still finding me on TikTok. They're like, "Where you been?" I'm like, "Where have you been?" You know, a lot's happened, and it's impossible to find stuff on TikTok. You know, you just disappear. But thanks to you, all of you, my core audience, and everybody else on TikTok, my great moderators, Chris among them, with Sarah and Diana and Magic Mike and everybody else, Anita. Anita, you tune in on YouTube often as well. Helped me to rebuild my account. I couldn't do it without you. And now we got it back. Now I got a video, the same video that went viral the first time. I reshot it. It sat there for 2 months, didn't do anything. And then now they must have released the shadow, whatever they call that, and it went viral again, and it might surpass my original numbers. And it's the same video that I reshot with my new phone. I pretty much did the exact same thing. It's less shaky. It's just I walk under Michigan Avenue. For some reason, people don't know that there's streets below the streets. We talk about this all the time when we go down to Billy Goats and all that stuff. And the comments are just funny. People have whatever they're thinking, they put it in the comments, and it doesn't have a lot to do with what I'm filming. It's just so funny. It's whatever they think about Chicago or crime or me or my voice, or they think I'm scared. They think I'm scared to walk down there. I think that's why they watch. It's just so funny. Human psychology, I'll never understand it. But here, we'll walk up. I'm going this way because I don't want to walk around Lake Point Tower. So I'm willing to go up the stairs here to get to Ohio Street Beach. So we'll hopefully shave off a minute here. We got 12:29. I know I didn't start until like 12:10, so we're doing okay on time. Yeah, I think usually I strongly believe, since we're on YouTube, I can talk about it freely and not worry about the TikTok spies listening in. I honestly believe if you ever have a video that goes viral, it's because they heat it up. They actually push a button that allows it to go viral. You know why this is? I just started the Creator Beta Fund where, you know, you get paid for your content. I venture to say it'll be very hard for me to get a video to go viral because they would have to pay me. They would, if I was getting paid for the views on this video going viral, it would be literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars, according to how they pay out. And I think they let it go viral because they knew I was getting close to the 10,000, and they wanted to go viral before I joined the Creator Fund. But that's just my paranoia. Thanks, very lucky guy. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that watches. Look at this view. Look at this view you get. There's DuSable Lakeshore Drive, and there's the North Shore. That's all Lincoln Park and Lakeview, all the way up to Montrose Beach, Edgewater. That's miles of lakefront. And then look at the traffic moving on DuSable Lakeshore Drive. And we'll get nice views of Streeterville once we get out to the past Ohio Street Beach. And we're on the lakefront bike trail here. There's Navy Pier, Lake Point Tower. Someone pointed out this morning that I think Oprah used to have a unit in there, but I don't know if she still does, because I think she's totally out of Chicago, but she might still own it. I don't know. And maybe you guys might know. That's all residential housing. Look at that. So here we can head right down the stairs here, and we can head right to Ohio Street Beach, and then we'll head to Olive Park, which is named after I think a World War II veteran. We'll show the sign there, and it's on when they built Jardine water filtration plant. They oh yeah, that's why. Thanks all you for subscribing and watching on YouTube. I see your comment, very lucky guy. I'm already close to the requirements for you have to have 500 subscribers and over 3,000 hours of watched content to be able to just, do subscriptions on YouTube. But what we really want to do, and I hope you guys can do it too with yours, is once you get to 1,000 and you have 4,000 hours of watch content, you get the ad money. When they show an ad in front, and that's what I'm really going for, because I want to get paid by Google and TikTok. Or I want to get paid by Google and YouTube, and I don't want to charge people for my content. I want to pay the people making money off of my content. I want the people making money off of my content right now for free to get a little kickback, and that's what we'll do here. But here's, and I went the wrong way here, but that's okay. I'm talking. I need to pay attention with where I'm going here. In general, we want to go to, here's what we'll do. We'll go to Olive Park first, and then we'll walk down Ohio Street Beach on the way back, and we'll connect with that underpass back into Streeterville. Yeah, that tower is relatively affordable. I remember I worked, we did some work with the Chicago Water Department, and somebody that worked at the water department said that they rented from that one time. They didn't own it, they rented from somebody, and they were able to afford a unit in Lake Point Tower working for the water department, which is right here. But that's great. You know, here we go. So welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Milton L. Olive III Park. There he was. He was in Vietnam. Look at this. It wasn't World War II. He was in Vietnam. Recipient Pumas. Medal of Honor recipient. Vietnam, 1965. And look at this. Yeah. So dogs are allowed. You're supposed to keep them on a leash. They open this park in the morning, usually at sunrise, and they close it in the evenings because the Jardine water plant's here, and they kind of secure it at night. There's a lot of fencing around the Jardine water plant. They don't want people just wandering through there. It's a very secure area because it's our drinking source. And I'm sure there's security cameras all around there. But yeah. Your videos have ads and you don't get paid. Yeah, you should. I wish you would get paid for that because they're making money off of your videos. But that's the nature of social media that we all know. Look at these trees here. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Welcome to welcome to Olive Park here. And the reason I'm going here, you see, look at these skyline views we get. I should point the camera this way so you can get the skyline views as we walk out here. Such a beautiful view. Hey, have I missed some comments here? Let's see. Yeah, I know. It's got to be confusing. I saw your comment, Lisa, from a while back there that, you know, maybe I should delete those videos where I talk about the band because people see them and they thought it just happened. And there's a date on it, but then no one looks at the date, and they people will be like, you know, people still think it just happened, and it's amazing that that's still circulating around. But it's probably because I show my face and people are just looking for my face. I'll leave it up because it shows my face. It's like a face reveal, and people they want to know what I look like. And then I announce my YouTube. I advertise my YouTube, so hopefully people, at least if they see it and they like my content, at least hopefully they'll subscribe to YouTube, which is what the whole point of this is, you know, to get people on this platform. Because I was really genuine when I said I wanted to move away from TikTok, but TikTok's still the best way to gain exposure, and people scroll through the lives, and so we'll keep it going as long as it doesn't get weird. It's already weird. It freaks me out that people recognize me in the streets. That was not my intention. I just want to showcase Chicago. Someone needs to cover Chicago to show, just like you all know, that there's positive, negatives, everything. Yes, we are the big bad city, but people still get up and go to work. Police officers and firefighters still do their job. All the nurses that work, and doctors that work in the hospitals there in Streeterville, you know, and that's what angers me when people make comments about, like, you know, how bad Chicago is. I'm like, look at all these people still trying to make this city work, and we're still part of America. You get it. And it's just because in the national discourse, we get used as a punching bag. And so, as much as possible, we're trying to not be Pollyannish about it, just show the real city so people can make up their own minds. And even if it is a place people don't want to live, it's still interesting. It's still a city that has an interesting history that's important to America. And the fact that all this was built and still exists, you know, by the lakefront. Yeah, you're right. I really thought, Richard Gardner, I really thought TikTok would be banned by this point. It just shows you Congress doesn't have the power to do it. And I think it's because there's Wall Street money. I know you can't buy stock in TikTok, but some, like, smart people like Darren Monroe and other people told me that Warren Buffett and other private investors have equity. And it wouldn't surprise me because it's got to be a very profitable business. They share less of their funds with the creators. They don't, because no one knows what no one knows how much they're making. You know, and look at all the major Fortune 500 companies that advertise on TikTok. Look at that, you know. Yeah. Oh, no. I don't prefer people not to stop me. Those people are I enjoy that. I'm just an introvert. I'm a shy person. I really don't have a big group of friends that I hang out with, and that's why I'm on this platform and you guys are enjoyable to talk with. Because I have social anxiety. I have social anxieties like everybody does. That's maybe why I used to drink when I wasn't really a raging alcoholic. I was just a binge drinker. But it would help me, you know. Why do people drink when it helps, you know, it helps people be sociable. It helps the inhibitions. And what I'm really worried about is being ambushed. Like someone will like stalk me and want to like just like attack me. And women deal with this, you know. That's why I talked to Sarah, you know. I don't really follow Anna Robb in Detroit because I'm crazy about her content. I just respect the fact that she walks around Detroit doing what I'm doing in Detroit. It's hard to live stream. People come up to you on the street and will be like, stop filming me, you know, look at this. And I get that because no one wants to be filmed, you know. Some people do want to be filmed. They'll jump in front of the camera. But I mean, some people, it really bothers them that they'll see me coming and they're like, try to get out of the camera, you know, and just like this, you know, it's like voyeuristic, you know. They're just trying to take some nice photos there, and here I am filming them. They don't know who I am and where I'm streaming it to. It's just, there's all kinds of dilemmas. Look at this great view though. Look, thanks for tuning in. This is why I came over here. I want to showcase, look at this great view and landscape of the Streeterville skyline. Yeah, Dolores, isn't it a beautiful game? Or beautiful day, beautiful game. What a beautiful game. Yeah, beautiful day. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, politicians want it bad. You know, look how much we know from Cambridge Analytica that Facebook affected elections, and they use it to study people and find out their deepest, darkest secrets. And, you know, of course, that has marketing value, but it also has political value because money translates into political ads. And since Citizens United, money's free speech. That's what the Supreme Court said. So money ruins everything, even our politics. And look at this great view. What a beautiful day. It's just, I don't want to go back to work. This is so hard. Here we are by the shores of Lake Michigan. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You see how I won't go to the end. If you go to the end, it's a nice tree lined, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. You know what I mean. You know, I'm very empathetic for what, you know, everybody deals with, but you know, women deal with this. You know, that's why I tell people, be careful at night wearing headphones. You know, not just in this city, but anywhere. You know, even me, I shouldn't. You know, I get distracted. I ride the bike, and that's probably not a good thing to do when I'm live streaming. It's just another distraction. And but here, look at Navy Pier. Yeah. Is there Oliver statue? Is there an Oliver statue out here? I have never found. Is it over here? Is that what it is? Let's go see if this is it. So there's these big giant fountains over here that they don't have on anymore. They used to shoot big jets of water up in the air, and it was for the Jardine water plant. There's one there, and if you look on the aerials of Google Earth, you can see these giant circular fountains. And I think this might be it. Yeah, at least this is a monument. Thanks for mentioning that. Let's go here to honor who the park was named after. And then there's spectacular skyline views from over here. Yeah, look how large this park is. We're just north of Navy Pier, and a lot of people go to Navy Pier and understandably don't realize that this is here. This is it. Thanks for mentioning this. So look, we got the flags. We got the Chicago flag and the American flag. I guess it's a POW flag there. Here he is. Private First Class Milton L. Olive III, United States Army. He got a Medal of Honor recipient. Talks about distinguished himself. Risk of his own life and beyond the call of duty while precipitating search to destroy 1965. through the jungle. Viet Cong positions. Grenade. Wow, he saved the lives of his fellow soldiers by grabbing the grenade in his own hand. Complete disregard for his own safety. He prevented additional loss of life. Wow. Here he is. Milton L. Olive. We shouldn't forget sacrificed the Vietnam War. And thanks for mentioning that here. Yeah. Look at this great park named in honor of his sacrifice and gallantry and bravery, you know. Yeah, I know. Chicago was built with lumber from Michigan. That's why when we walk past the, I know I missed some comments there. When we walk past the Gold Coast and we go by the Charnley Persky house, that was designed by Louis Sullivan, and Frank Lloyd Wright worked as the apprentice on it. It's such a beautiful house. And I have to do another TikTok on it because I had a TikTok on it, we lost it. That was a lumber baron. That was a Chicago lumber baron that made money off of cutting down the Michigan pine forest and shipping it to Chicago to rebuild after the Great Chicago Fire. And then once Chicago was built, they shipped that out to all the Great Plains, Omaha, all the Great Plains cities to build the Tombstone and the Wild West cities because there was no lumber out in the desert areas. And he made a fortune, and it went into that house. Isn't that amazing? And so that's, yeah, this is all connected, you know. Yeah. Yeah, we're all socialists. We're all socialists here in Chicago. Yeah. Take the afternoon off. Thanks, Sandra. Yeah, check this out. Come out to Olive Park. See, you can go to Navy Pier. Come over to Olive Park. Check out the Olive Park Monument. Check out this great skyline view and the lake views you got here, and then go to Ohio Street Beach, and you know, at least there's some people over here walking their dogs. I remember coming over here where there was nobody. You see, these are these giant fountains. They don't turn them on anymore. I guess they don't maintain them, and nobody hardly came over here to see them anyway. So that's why nobody comes to Omaha. Mutual of Omaha. Nebraska land. Yeah, the Cornhuskers. That's good. Well, someone's got to live there. Someone's got to live, and we don't want the Great Plains to be completely hollowed out. Same with the breast belt of the Great Lakes. Everybody moved to Florida and Texas, you know, and then they'll be out of electricity. Yeah, look at the city here. The city's looking nice. Yeah, Big Jim. That's right. You were a zookeeper. We talked about that when we were in the Lincoln Park Zoo. That's good. Big Jim from the TV show. Marlon Perkins. Marlon Perkins. Yeah, I know Marlon Perkins. Hey, Terry, you know Marlon Perkins? That's great. That's great, Lisa. That's awesome. Yeah. And so, you know, I need advice. You know, like I do like showing the zoo. I live so close to the zoo. And of course, we'll go over there for the zoo lights. And I look forward to filming that, both on TikTok and YouTube. But, you know, it just shows you how no matter, even this park, you know, everything is controversial. Even when I go to Lincoln Park Zoo, very often I'll get comments. People are like, I don't like zoos. I think it's wrong that you're filming the zoo. And it usually, I should just ignore those because those people are the minority. Just like Sarah gets amused by when I was showing the Halloween decorations that, you know, there's all that fake spider web stuff. And then someone, you know, and it's an honest concern. I'm glad people are concerned about ecology and insects and not getting things out of balance. But they're like, oh, that hurts the butterflies. And then we're just like, even Halloween decorations are controversial. You know, and it's just, I got to get used to it. I got to grow a thicker skin and just be like, okay, that's your opinion. Thanks for letting us know. I'm still going to film the zoo because it has educational value, just like what you did being a zookeeper. Because if anybody cares about animals, it's people that run zoos, you know. And it all is connected, you know. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I very lucky guy. I always tell people the same. I'm like, please just watch something else. You got 10 million channels. You don't have to watch. But I'm learning something about the psychology of trolls, and Sarah's trying to teach me this because she has experience with it, being a moderator for all the people. The trolls do not want to watch something else. They want fresh meat. They want to engage you, and they'll be persistent. And they really don't want to watch, because they really just want to damage your brand, because they get off on it. And so this is why I have to have moderators, because to have the emotional intelligence to just not engage with them. But it's so tempting, because you just want to tell them off, and then that's how they get you in. They're like a cold call salesman. The psychology of it, it's a trick. The whole thing's a trick. Look at this. October 24th, we got people in bikinis wearing Speedos, sunbathing on a Chicago beach. This is amazing, you know. And look at this. The beaches get pretty crowded in the summertime. I showed them on Labor Day. They were pretty crowded on Labor Day, and they weren't as crowded on Memorial Day, which was amazing. But you know, this is, you know, usually Ohio Street Beach is not that crowded. It might be crowded middle of summer, but here we are on a Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. We got upper 70s, got naked babies. I can't even film that. And we got the beautiful skyline of Chicago here. And yeah, look at this. See, look, Omaha Zoo reintroduced black-footed ferrets into the wild. Look at that. And that's what I need to have, these talking points. So I'll be just like, I'll bombard them with facts about how much zoos do to help out endangered species. You know, the buffalo or wolf pop. Yeah, has anybody been watching the Ken Burns great documentary about the buffalo, you know, and how we almost drove them to extinction? And it was also because they knew it was a lot of the Native Americans' food source. So it was very convenient, right? Oh man, you know, it's amazing. Think about those politics, you know, and total war, you know. And but look at this. October 24th, Ohio Street Beach. It's like a summer's day. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it's 54 and windy in St. Paul. That's what we got. We'll have that tomorrow. Look, there's jet skis up there. Let's zoom up there. They got some jet skis. We saw somebody water skiing. Look, these jet skis are heading down this way. They're coming to get us. It's like Water World. That's awesome. Yeah, the wolves. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, thanks. Oh, I gotta watch where I'm walking here. There, I gotta head back to work. It's already 12:51, and I'm a long way from work, so we'll make a beeline. But if you squint at your eyes, it's like a summer, it's like a July day. Look at this. Let me zoomed out all the way. There we go. I'm not even zoomed out all the way. Look at this. It's a summer day. Rehabilitation, conservation. We're all doing the best we can. It's so easy to be critical. People just make a comment. I'm like, what are you doing to actually help it out? You know, that's the key thing. Same with all kinds of other urban issues, homelessness, migration. There's always been immigration, migration. You know, cities are probably more equipped to handle it, you know, because we got social services. It overloads our social services, and it's very controversial. In the communities, you know, that's why it's on the south side of Chicago. They for years they've been asking for funds and resources into that community center, and they didn't get it. And then now that we have a migrant crisis, they're finally investing in it, which is good. But they're like, hey, we're taxpayers, we're voters. You know, why didn't it happen sooner? You know, and I get it. These are the dilemmas. You know, it's hard. But here, we'll head up the steps here. Hopefully my connection stayed on here. Let's see. Yeah, we're still streaming 3,800 kilobits per second. Look at these mosaics. They got these nice mosaics here on the bike ramp as we just went under DuSable Lakeshore Drive, and see how you can bike. You can bike right up here. There's one. And we'll head through Streeterville, and we'll head back to Michigan Avenue. I know, walking barefoot on the concrete. I know, you don't want to stub your toe. That's why it's like a summer day. Look at this. It's October. It's almost November, and it's warm enough to walk barefooted down the street. This is nuts. Hey, we'll take it. What am I complaining about? I'm not complaining. I'm enjoying it. You are too. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's a nice, enjoyable walk here. Look how you can drive straight through. All these people out walking about, enjoying the nice afternoon. Yeah, sometimes they have checkpoints. You're right. They have checkpoints at the bridges. I saw those this summer. I filmed some of them. When I will walk, just this morning I walked across the North Avenue beach there, bridge, the one that went over it. And on the other side, this was this summer, the police were doing bag checks. They were looking for weapons, and they were looking for alcohol, and that's understandable. But there was an ACLU, probably a lawyer. She was there, and she was yelling at everybody. She goes, "You don't have to consent to this search. This is an awful search." And the police were just kind of glaring at her, but they couldn't force her to go away. And she was just reminding everybody they didn't have to consent to the search. And she was doing that of her own like free will. And I could tell she was probably a lawyer just by how she was acting, you know. And or she just knew the law. And yeah, it's always but the beginning of the summer we had a unfortunate incident where someone was killed on the beach. And you know, that's when the crowds come out. Usually when the weather first starts getting warm in the spring and summer, there's always stupid incidents like that. And because this is the big bad city, and people, immature youth, you know, have weapons. And that's why I keep saying, you know, do more guns make us more safe? Not necessarily. You know, it helps with self-defense. I believe in the Second Amendment and people's right to protect themselves and own. You know, it's hard to talk about in these platforms because I don't know what will engage the algorithm. You know what I'm talking about. But you guys understand what I'm saying. We got to speak in code. Tiptoe around the robot. The robot, big brother, big sister, twisted sister. Instead of, that'll be my new code word. Instead of saying big brother, I'll say twisted sister on TikTok. See if they can figure that out. You got to be smarter than the algorithm. You know, that's the key. Yeah, look at Japan. I've been in Japan 3 times, and I never felt unsafe. I didn't know the language. You know, I knew arigato, you know, just enough to get by. And, you know, Japanese people are wonderful. They'll help you with directions. The police will help you. The police, like, you don't have to be afraid of the police. Like, the police will actually, like, help you out. They'll take you to your hotel because they know you're a dumb tourist, you know. And Japan, yeah, they have like single digit gun violence. Now, Japan has a suicide problem, which is a different thing, but you know, that goes back to the mental health challenges that we always talk about, and it affects all cultures, you know. Yeah, YouTube is much more forgiving. And that's why I feel more comfortable to be myself on YouTube. And that's why I'm not crazy about TikTok either. And I almost feel regretful. Here, let's walk through here. That by sheer luck, since I can talk forever like a radio station, that I can easily gain followers on TikTok. But I wish it was a better platform because I don't feel like I could be myself there. And I feel like I could lose my account at any time if I just say the wrong sequence of words. And that's why we got this YouTube, in case we can find each other again. You know, that's what happened the last time. I had to reach out to everybody, and we had to rebuild the whole thing, start from scratch. We got it back, so we'll keep on trucking here. Look at the mums. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, they'll be watching D. Snyder. They'll be like, something's up. Who's this D. Snyder? And Why does he wear so much makeup? He doesn't wear it anymore, but he used to. They're all confused. He was way ahead of his time. See, that was, you know, I know David Bowie was a trailblazer for, you know, he was really, you know, more fluid in his sexuality. But Dee Snider was a heterosexual, and he dressed like a woman and wore women's makeup, you know, and it was, the 80s were a lot different, I know. Probably not for the right reasons. Oh my God. What's the world coming to? Who's a fighting and a what for? That's what, did you see Mick Jagger was on Saturday Night Live? He made a cameo right at the end. I'm glad he's still, can you believe the Rolling Stones are still touring? That's amazing. But that's what Mick Jagger said in Altamont. He said, who's a fighting and a what for? And that's why I feel like telling the Middle East. You know, that's all I'm going to say about that. But, you know, the same battle that's been going on since the beginning of recorded history. Someday this war is going to end. To quote Michael Duvall from Apocalypse Now. Robert Duvall. I'm sorry. Robert Duvall from Apocalypse Now. I said his name wrong. Yeah, our forefathers wore wigs. It's because they were essentially replicating what the British aristocracy did. And they fought against the British aristocracy, but then they became the aristocracy. And that was the whole point. Look at that. Yeah, robes and sandals. I get accused of, some people say I look like Jesus in the summertime because I walk in sandals and I got long hair and a beard. Adamant, yeah, adamant, that's good. Trailblazers is all around. We're not going to take it anymore. History's so vast and fascinating, and isn't it interesting how a lot of history is the myths we want to tell about ourselves. You know, it's even, you know, it conveniently leaves certain things out, you know, and that's why it's so confusing. There's many versions of history. But here we're back at Illinois and Columbus. We'll make a right here. Look at the St. Regis. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. We'll head up the stairs here and we'll head right back to the Pioneer Plaza. We'll reverse the whole thing. Weren't we just here? Yeah. They had syphilis. They had syphilis and gout. Gout was a big thing. Yeah, just think of the diets, you know. It was when Lewis and Clark expedition went to the Pacific Northwest, they were almost running out of supplies and food. And they, you know, they relied on deer and bison meat and jerky and cattle and whatever they brought with them, and they always had problems with people getting constipated. So they had laxatives that were made out of mercury. Think how they were literally poisoning themselves with mercury so they could get some relief. And then when they got to the Pacific Northwest, there was tons of salmon. Think of the Columbia River before, back, you know, in their time, it was just full of salmon. They didn't want to eat the salmon. They gave it to the dogs. They wouldn't eat it. We're not eating salmon. Humans don't eat salmon. And then they would almost rather starve trying to find deer meat than eat the salmon, which was readily available. It just shows you, you know, how people, we all get stuck in our own channels of thinking. Oh, Alice Cooper. Think how much, yeah, think about 1969. Alice Cooper was singing, you know, I'm 18, and they were protesting the Vietnam War and all that stuff. And, you know, Tiny Tim, people forget how controversial his appearance was in the late 60s. I mean, it was shocking to people. And the fact that he got married, you know, on national TV, it was a big deal. You know, Tiptoe Through the Tulips, I know that's controversial. I shouldn't say that because people are like, he died singing that song. Okay, whatever, you know. But yeah, Alice Cooper, the MC5, talk about trailblazers, Jimi Hendrix. I mean, they were at the forefront. The New York Dolls, they were dressing like women before D. Snyder, or you know. But then they all got on heroin. Oh my God. But Alice Cooper, yeah, you know, he was doing heavy metal before there was heavy metal. Same with Black Sabbath. Their first album came in 1970. Tommy Iommi. People that Deep Purple, people forget about Deep Purple. You know, they were well before all the big hair bands of the 80s. Yeah, Tiny Tim. Arthur Brown. Yeah, Arthur Brown. Yeah, I mean, he did some really freaky stuff, you know. Yeah. And that's why, you know, that's why I'm proud to call myself. See, look. Now look at this. So you see what just happened. Now he's trying to return his bike, and that's why he was riding on a sidewalk. Divvy makes it hard because he was simply trying to return his bike, but then we didn't see him coming, and he was wearing headphones. So like he was confusing the guy in front of him because he just saw this bike coming. And these are the conflicts. These are the conflicts. Bikes, pedestrians, cars, pedestrians, bikes, cars. And at least they didn't get into a fight over it, which is good. See, that's the small successes. Hey, the Museum of Ice Cream, look at this. Deep Purple 8-track, that's awesome. Hey, that's a collector's item, save that. Look how you can see to the Aeon. Wow. Look at this nice little curving path here we got. Right, leads us right to the Wrigley building. The Cato diet. Yeah. Yeah, bacon wrapped in butter. That's good. Get the Atkins diet. What's his name? Rob Lowe's all about the Atkins diet. Yeah, positive, negatives, everything. Yeah, let's go. Well, here, look at this beautiful view to the Wrigley building. Pioneer Plaza. People are sitting out here enjoying the sunshine. Look at that. Yeah. Whatever gets your attention, whatever puts money in the pockets of the advertisers or the politicians. Which is it? They're all connected. They're all connected as we looked at the Trump building. One hand washes the other. But look, yeah, look at the Tribune, Chicago Tribune sign still there. You gotta watch where I'm walking. I almost walked into somebody, my own fault. Look at that. I'm not going to take responsibilities for my own actions. I'm going to blame the other person, even if I'm wrong. That's what a lawyer would do, right? Innocent before proven guilty. Look at the Apple store. People are sitting on the seawall, hanging at the beach, hanging by the river. Yeah, they saved the sign. Yeah, at least they saved this. That sign's historic, you know. There's John Baptiste Point du Sable, Native Americans, Joliet and Marquette. And then they got that winged, what's that winged figure above there leading them west? Manifest destiny. Yeah. There they are, Joliet and Marquette right there on that plaque. Here, we'll get a nice view of the Chicago River. Look at this. Yeah. Yeah, high cholesterol. Look at the flags. Yeah, look at all these people enjoying this fine day. There, Chicago leading ladies pulling out. Gonna go on a tour. So, depending on the weather tomorrow, if we got nice weather in the morning and if I don't have work to do, I'll be really tempted to take the morning off and just on YouTube. I might do a TikTok when I walk into work. I might go to work and charge up my battery for like an hour, and then I'll come out probably early. I'll probably be on early tomorrow. If the weather's nice, I'll put a message if I don't go out. Check the message there on YouTube. But I might go out as early as like 9 a.m. to try to film the bridges. If they're raising the bridges tomorrow. They might not even be raising the bridges tomorrow. I have to check the website to let the sailboats in, but I really want to catch that if they raise the Basque bridges to lift the bridges for the sailboats. And so we'll give that a try tomorrow. We'll eventually catch it. I want to film it on YouTube because it'll be in landscape, and I'll be able to get the full bridge in. You know, it's so hard on TikTok in the vertical aspect. It's so much sky, and we'll be able to get better resolution. Yeah, it looks like early rain. I know. So it's gonna be, you know, I might not be able to. They might cancel the bridge lift because of the weather tomorrow. So stay tuned. Maybe tune in on TikTok in the morning if you're available, and we'll see what the weather's like when I walk into work tomorrow, and it'll be a game time decision as whether we go out on YouTube earlier in the morning than lunchtime to try to film the bridges. And then I got to see what's going on at work too. It's always just so much going on. I feel overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. You know how much I live stream, and but there's always so much going on, you know. It's just I can't even cover everything. I missed the open house. You know, there's always things I miss. People are like, go over here, go over there. I'm like, you go over there. I know people, you know, there's got to be someone else besides me filming Chicago. I know Vic Cohen does it, but who else? City Walking Girl. It's hard. You know, I think Nate gave it up, and I don't blame him because it's hard. It's hard to walk. Maybe he started a new account. I don't know. But we'll do TikTok on the way home tonight. It should be really beautiful weather for the walk home tonight. We'll try to catch some more Halloween decorations and do all that. And thanks for coming along on this nice tour of people sunbathing at the beach. October 24th, 2023. People water skiing. I mean, it's just amazing what's transpired here. We'll cross the street here. We can make it. No one's looking. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you enjoy it. That's what makes it enjoyable. I enjoy watching the reruns on YouTube myself. I'm a self-absorbed narcissist. I should run for political office, right? That's a joke. Hey, Chris, let me know if you're downtown. That's good. I know you got work to do. Thanks for tuning in, Chris. Thanks for your great moderating. I really appreciate it. I owe you and Sarah a great deal, and Diana too. So and Anita. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a great rest of the day. We'll catch you tonight on TikTok, hopefully, and we'll try it again later. Good. Talk to you later. See you, Tara. See everybody else. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna go back to work. Talk to you later. Very lucky guy. The way I roll. Lisa, thanks for watching. Chris, be creative. Michael, Kevin, everybody else I missed. All the way back to Kurt, Merck. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I know I'm missing somebody here. Kevin. Who else? Arise. Yeah. Kurt. Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry if I missed anybody. Richard. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Monique. A lot of good comments today. Thanks a lot, everybody. Sandra. Mary Therese. AC. Wes. Marilyn. Thanks, everybody. I know I missed somebody. All right, talk to you later. Talk to you later.